बुधकर इस वक्त की सबसे बड़ी खबर यह है कि L&T इन्फोटेक और माइंडट्री का मर्जर हो सकता है। चलिए सीधे चलते हैं प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस में जहां AM नाइक बात कर रहे हैं।
Scheme of amalgamation of these independently listed companies under the Larsen-Toubro Group. The proposed integration will see LTI and Mindtree join stand to create an IT service company of size exceeding $3.5 billion. The transaction is subject to shareholder and regulatory approval. We believe that this merger will help unlock greater value for all the stakeholders. We have seen the performance of both the companies has been above other mid-tier companies. Going forward, the merged entity will have both the scale and resources to take on bigger challenges and deliver. Upon the scheme becoming effective, all shareholders of Mindtree will be issued shares of LTI at the ratio of 73 shares of LTI for every 100 shares of Mindtree. The new shares of LTI so issued will be traded on NSE and BSE. Larsen-Toubro Limited will hold 68.73% of LTI after the merger. It is not really that time LTI, it will be known as LTI Mindtree. The combined entity, as I said, will be known as LTI Mindtree, leveraging the advantages of both brands and creating value for all the stakeholders. The merged entity will continue to be managed as a market leader, and we wish to announce the following. As a result of this merger, obviously we had two CEOs, and Mr. DC Chatterjee will be heading the combined entity. Mr. Sanjay Jalona, CEO and MD, has decided to move on from the organization for personal reasons. We place on record the management's appreciation for Mr. Jalona's leadership and wish him all the successes in future. As I mentioned, Mr. Devsis Chatterjee, CEO and MD of Mindtree, will lead the merged entity. Mr. Chatterjee has done a commendable job at leading Mindtree, and we wish him well for new and much expanded role. Thank you all and good luck. If you have any questions, we will be more than both of us, and if need be, my colleagues at the back will be more than happy to answer.
Sir, Ankur Mishra from ET now. As you said, regulatory approvals are needed. How much time have you anticipated that it will take? The total
10 to 11 months. 11 months.
Mr. Hi, Shilpa from CNBC. I wanted to understand, you had taken over the management of Mindtree. It's been a while since then, but what necessitated the merger now is what I wanted to understand. And also going ahead, can you outline what the revenue and portfolio synergies will be like for both the entities?
Well, I mean, we acquired this company 3 years ago, okay? And today, as I mentioned, this year, it has crossed 3.5 billion between the two companies when merged. And next year, we might be much bigger than that, obviously, because next year is just started. The synergy comes from volume, economy of scale for cost cutting, and large deals today. Large business deals, today the customer give it to only tier 1 companies if the size is more than 100 million. I think the combined entity will have that size to be able to get much better deals in the market to be able to, let's say, address to that. And majority of the verticals that both companies have are not overlapping.
Right.
and therefore it is going to be very well. And the leadership team of Mindtree are predominantly know what vertical they are strong on. LTI team knows what they are strong on. There may be minor overlap here and there, but on the whole, I think it is a very excellent value proposition scheme.
And
Mr.
was
Naik,
the
before,
passion
when you
be like
acquired-
एक को बोलो ना भाई, एक को
Mr.
बोलो.
When you acquired Mindtree, and at that point in time the question was raised why both companies are not getting merged. The answer was that we're looking at a scale in terms of revenue of more than $5 billion for combined entity before we look at that merger and the synergies that will come through. Now it's at $3.5 billion. So what is the reason why you are, you have pushed ahead the entire timeline which you yourself have
Well,
given?
first of all, we never said it will take 5 years.
No, not 5 years.
Neither-
$5 billion revenue, combined the revenue.
I think there is a misunderstanding. We are already 5 billion because there is a third company which we are not merging with this. But the point is 3.5 billion, and this 10 to 11 months it is going to go in merging.
Right.
And you have to consider what will be the revenue, which I can't tell you now, of coming year, which is not 3.5 billion, certainly more than that.
And what
Mr.
about the
Nayak,
third
Mr.
company
Nayak,
which you, will it be merged eventually with?
The answer is no. That's an engineering company. This is an IT company. That's the biggest independent engineering company of India. And
Mr.
that
Nayak,
will
this is
that will
Anisha.
on its own become bigger and bigger and more prospective to all the stakeholders. Yes.
Mr. Nayak, Anisha here.
Just wanted to understand, are you seeing some sort of cultural integration issues that might happen? Because earlier itself when Mindtree was taken over by L&T, there was a bit of change, and now with the merger coming in, do you anticipate some sort of issues at the cultural level?
One thing is we know each other for 3 years. Second thing, the initial, let's say, disturbances were created, let's say, which we should not have. Not we, but the owners. They considered that this was a hostile takeover. It was not. One of the owner, who unfortunately died, came to us and said, instead of my giving to private equity, my employees will be happy if L&T was to take over. He came 4 or 5 times to meet Mr. Subramaniam and Mr. Sankaraman, our CFO. And finally, of course, we had a final meeting. But the point is, we did not enter to take over hostile manner. Now, as per the regulatory requirement, if you acquire more than 20%, we have to make an open offer. But the bad publicity that time made some people think, will this really properly integrate? We had also, those who were under the influence of the owners also left. And therefore, many people wondered how the share price went up to 700 rupees. And some of the owners sold it also. But today we are close to 4,000. At the peak we were 5,000. We have increased the value in 3 years by 5 times more or 6 times more. So it had been a case study in the industry, how in such a short time a company can do so well to go up in value creation 5 to 6 times. So I don't think there is a cultural issue. We have our team at the back who know each other very well. 3 of them came from Cognizant, so they knew each other for a long time. And quite a few came from Infosys who are not here. They also know each other. Mindtree was known for its employees' care. But L&T has always been, historically, in the top 5 of the companies which is most desired by employees to work for.
एम नायक साहब वहां पर बताते हुए जो ताज़ा खबर है इस समय की कि L&T इन्फोटेक और माइंडट्री का मर्जर होगा और कुछ डिटेल्स आपको बता दें। $350 करोड़ की कंपनी अब ये बन जाएगी। पूरा जो L&T ग्रुप है वो बता रहे हैं कि $500 करोड़ का है। इसमें से जो इन्फोटेक डिवीजन है L&T इन्फोटेक और माइंडट्री जो अब एक कंपनी बनेगी वो $350 करोड़ की होगी। माइंडट्री के 100 शेयर के बदले शेयरधारकों को L&T इन्फोटेक के 73 शेयर मिलेंगे। साथ ही साथ L&T का जो है वो इस नई कंपनी में जिसका नाम LTI माइंडट्री होगा उसमें करीब 68% से ज़्यादा हिस्सा होगा। जो CEO थे दोनों कंपनीज के उसमें से जो L&T इन्फोटेक के CEO हैं वो छोड़ रहे हैं, संजय जालोना साहब, पर्सनल रीजंस की वजह से। तो जो DC चैटर्जी साहब हैं जो माइंडट्री के CEO और MD हैं वो फिलहाल अब इस नई कंपनी को हेड करेंगे। करीब 10 से 11 महीने में ये पूरा प्रोसेस पूरा होता हुआ दिखाई देगा। लेकिन क्या मतलब है इसका निवेशकों के लिए और कैसे समझना चाहिए इस पूरी खबर को, मेरे साथ मेरे खास मेहमान अविनाश गोरशकर जुड़ गए। अविनाश, बहुत बहुत स्वागत आपका। कैसे रीड करते हैं आप, दो बड़ी IT कंपनियां अब जुड़ के और एक बड़ी कंपनी बनने जा रही है, इस स्टेप को सबसे पहले आप किस तरह से रीड करते हैं?
सौमित्र, मुझे लग रहा है बहुत पॉजिटिव डेवलपमेंट है, क्योंकि देखिए ये मार्केट्स ऑलरेडी थोड़ा सा अंदाजा पहले से लगा रहा था और अभी आज ये मर्जर फाइनली शेयर होल्डर्स के सामने कंपनी ने प्रस्तुत किया है। तो मुझे लग रहा है कि इससे कंपनी एक बड़ी कंपनी के रूप में देखने को मिलेगी और माइंडट्री के लिए भी एक अच्छी बात है, क्योंकि उनको एक बड़ा बिजनेस में पार्टिसिपेट करने को मिलेगा और जो रेशियो है वो भी काफी अच्छा है। उनके 100 शेयर के बदले उनको 73 शेयर L&T इन्फोटेक के मिल रहे हैं। L&T इन्फोटेक को डेफिनेटली जो सिनर्जीज मिलेगी माइंडट्री का बिजनेस कंबाइन करके उनको भी बेनिफिट मिलेगा, क्योंकि दोनों बिजनेसेस में थोड़ा सा यूनिकनेस है, क्लाइंटल अलग है, एक्सपर्टाइज अलग है और ऑब्वियसली जब दोनों कंपनीज सिनर्जिकली कंबाइन हो जाएगी तब काफी खर्चे और काफी जो पोटेंशियल है दोनों का ऑन अ कंबाइंड प्लेटफॉर्म शुड डू बेटर फॉर देम। तो मेरे ख्याल से 8-9 महीने या 10 महीने ये पूरी प्रक्रिया के लिए लगेंगे, बट मेरे ख्याल से मार्केट डेफिनेटली अर्निंग्स के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से काफी खुश रहेगा, क्योंकि दोनों L&T इन्फोटेक और माइंडट्री ने काफी अच्छा नंबर स्टैंड अलोन बेसिस पे प्रस्तुत किया है। ऑर्डर बुक विजिबिलिटी भी काफी अच्छी है, मार्जिन स्ट्रक्चर भी अच्छा है। तो मेरे ख्याल से आई थिंक मार्केट्स डेफिनेटली इसको पॉजिटिवली लेंगे और आने वाले एक हफ्ते में मंडे को जब मार्केट खुलेगा मेरे ख्याल से आपको L&T इन्फोटेक में ज्यादा अच्छा उछाल देखने को मिलेगा, क्योंकि ये रिजल्टेंट कंपनी बनेगी जो कंबाइंड एंटिटी की और डेफिनेटली शेयर होल्डर क्रिएशन के लिए ये अच्छा प्रोसेस है, जो मुझे लग रहा है कि दोनों कंपनी के शेयर होल्डर्स को बेनिफिट करना चाहिए।
दोनों कंपनी के शेयर होल्डर को बेनिफिट करेगा। L&T इन्फोटेक को कुछ ज्यादा बेनिफिट होते हुए